How many of you have experienced being in a relationship and feeling very lonely? And I bet you that you were in a relationship with a narcissist. Because one of the most common things that I've heard in my therapy sessions with clients is that I feel very lonely in my relationship with my husband or with my partner. I have been in this relationship for 5 years, 1 year, 20 years, 40 years, and I feel like I have no one and that I am totally alone in this relationship. And my husband only comes around, or my partner only comes around when they want to have sex, or if they want me to do their laundry, or if they want me to fix them a cup of coffee, or, it's very transactional. And I used to complain, and I've stopped doing that because I've gotten nowhere with it. And the loneliness keeps getting more and more lonelier with each passing day. So if you have experienced loneliness in a relationship, this is the video for you to watch. My name is Fawzia Shah. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be on loneliness in a narcissistic relationship. Let's get started. And I'm going to draw a connection between the childhood trauma and how one gets into a relationship with the narcissist in adulthood. And I think it's very important to draw that connection because you will find some similarities in what you're going through with a narcissist and what you went through in childhood with your parents. As a child, if your mother or your father or both parents were narcissists, most likely you felt powerless, you felt helpless, you felt confused, you felt a lot of anxiety. You did not know what was going to happen next. You felt shame, you felt guilt, you felt like it was your fault, that you were bad, and somehow it was always something that you did that caused whatever happened to you by your parents. I hear the same things that people complain about in their relationships, especially in a relationship with a narcissist. They say, I feel very confused. I feel very, I feel helpless. I feel powerless. I have a lot of anxiety. I worry all the time what I'm going to find today. And when I do talk about what I need or what I would like to want us to do, I am basically told that I am a very bad person, that I'm very selfish, that I'm always wanting things from them for them to do for me, and that, if you don't like it, you can always leave. Or I will leave you if you continue to put these demands on me. So that goes into the fear of abandonment. As a child, you suffered from fear of abandonment. And then you're in a relationship with a narcissist. And when they say they're going to leave you, all of a sudden, not only are you experiencing a lot of anxiety, but now you're also having the fear of abandonment. And so you are now not going to complain. You're going to do whatever they want you to do. And you start to lose yourself. You don't know anymore what you like, what you want, what makes you happy. And there's this deep sense of loneliness and disconnectedness. And partly because the narcissists really do not know anything about intimacy. For them, relationships are transactional. What can you do for me? And I will do this for you, but what can you do for me? And the issue here is that the narcissist is a very insecure person. They are not conscious and they're not aware of what they're doing. So because of being unconscious, they have these grandiose sense of self, sense of entitlement. They're very superficial. There's nothing real about them. There's nothing genuine about them. And it's, what do you do for me attitude. And so when they're looking for this supply, as long as they're getting that supply, then their insecurity is massaged. So they feel massaged by that. So as long as you are giving them the supply, then everything is okay. But as soon as you are asking for something from them is when the problem starts, and then they will bully you. They will, your needs will go unfulfilled. They will emotionally isolate you by silent treatment. That's a very big one, a very emotional abuse and passive aggressiveness. Silent for days. They will go without talking to you. Even though you were right there, they will completely ignore you. If you're talking to them, they will pick up their phone and start texting or going through their Facebook page or whatever but they will pretend like what you have to say is really not that important. And this is very passive aggressive behavior. You may not do that to someone because you probably are a very empathetic person, but they will do that to you because that's what a narcissist is. They don't care if they're hurting you. They don't care if it bothers you. They don't care. It's not about you. It's about them. And they get a sense of power when they're able to control you and manipulate you, gaslight you, trauma bond you. They have this sense of, it massages their grandiosity. It is a form of, again, supply for them, that I can do this and get away with this. If you're in this relationship and you end up going and talking to your PCP or your friends or your family, even a therapist, and the response is, well, you haven't been married that long, or you all haven't been dating that long, or making excuses for him. Well, he'll come around, give him time. Now the person feels even more lonely because they're not finding anyone that is listening to them, listening to what they're going through. And it gets worse when someone says, oh my gosh, he's so wonderful. People love him at work. And, everybody in the family just loves him. When he comes, everybody's so happy to see him because he's so much fun to be around. And you're like, well, he probably is very much fun with you, but that's not how he is with me. And most narcissists will isolate their victims. They will isolate their spouses by being very nice to everyone else outside, but very critical and very abusive to this one person. So no one believes them. And so again, they feel very lonely. And if this person in childhood was neglected, abused, verbally, emotionally, sexually, or, just abused, and they suffer from complex PTSD, in childhood, if they went and told someone, and I hear this actually with children now who are adults, that I actually told my school counselor, I even told the social worker from the DSS that came to the house, and no one believed me. They believed my parents, and the abuse continued. And in some cases, it was not even just abuse, it was torture. But the parents got away with it. So it's the same pattern that we see in adulthood with these same children that are now adults who have suffered abuse growing up and found themselves in a relationship that's abusive. So if you are one of those people who suffered abuse in childhood and got into a relationship with a narcissist who also is now abusing you and neglecting your needs, then I would suggest start not giving them the supply and start pulling back. pull back, pull back, pull back, little by little, little by little. But you don't have to tell them, oh, I know you're a narcissist, because guess what? I mean, that's not going to help you in any way. They will actually turn it against you. They will turn it around and say, well, you must be a narcissist, or you're crazy, or you're a bad person. So there goes the emotional, the verbal, the whole thing all over again. So no point in telling them you are a narcissist. And I know back in the day when I was new at this, I surely did tell people, you're a narcissist. And I learned, you just don't do that. You don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. Okay. So you don't tell them. You just start to withdraw slowly, but slowly and slowly. You withdraw and stop giving them the supply. Stop validating them. Stop giving them all this, compliments, or putting them on the pedestal. Stop all that. Just back out. Start actually getting into hobbies. Find a very good therapist. They are out there. Find you a good therapist and start working on what you have lost. And most probably you lost your sense of self. Or most probably, if you've suffered complex PTSD, you probably lost it a long time ago. Probably didn't even know what that was like, or who am I? And so this would be a good time for you to get into therapy and start working on how you discover yourself. And I will recommend highly Eckhart Tolle and Kim Ng, because those are two teachers that I actually went to and have been following them for years now, and that I would say were instrumental in teaching me on how to discover myself. And I'm very grateful to them for that. And I would like to share that resource with you. Absolutely the best, in my opinion. So see if you can find their videos on YouTube. They are out there doing a great job in teaching people on how to discover the self, how to live in the present moment, how to just be one with nature. And start finding hobbies and things that will make you feel good about yourself. And if you have children, and if they're in your life, that's great. Enjoy them. And if you don't have any children and you're single and you were involved with the narcissist, I suggest, looking for support, maybe joining a support group of women who have been involved with narcissistic men. There are groups out there now. I would definitely recommend one of those. I hope that you liked this video and you found it to be helpful. If you did, leave a comment or two for me and let me know what your experience was like with the narcissist. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I am wishing you the best.